Alright, here we go. I decided for now we're going to test out not using an overlay for this. Because graphics are a little... Also, very cool. The demo progress transfers. I had already been installing it, but it's good that you checked. It was actually up 2 minutes before 1. I'm gonna start a new save. Should I skip the tutorial though? Actually, I'll keep the tutorial in, just so people can see it. Stars in the sky are going out one by one. No one notices it. No one can stop it. Racing to the last place where there is still hope. Need to make it before it's too late. Sounds of agony will quickly fade. The world will be destroyed. Even the memory of it will be gone. And even if there's absolutely no chance of bringing it all back, there will always be someone who is willing to do the impossible. A place without space, without time, without memories. Where am I? I can't see anything except this path. My head is killing me. I remember only the skeleton of the staff in the sky. The darkness was coming from him. Did he destroy everything around here? Standing here won't do me any good, I guess. Hope I'll be able to find shelter before nightfall. Such a thing might even still exist without a sky, of course. Yeah, we have a day progress bar. We have a map completion bar. Living ball of slime. Quite a nuisance. They digest anything they can. Hey, I remember this creature. Maybe I just freshen up my memory and everything will go back to normal. So, it's an auto battler. So I wasn't in control of any of that. But I can pause. There are multiple ways to pause the battling. Such as you see, I got a new weapon. It's hard to fight with your bare hands. I think there's a weapon in the remains of this thing. Fully digested. So you can put the sword in. And you can upgrade. When you're doing upgrades in the middle of battle, it pauses the game. So that you don't get just slapped a bunch. I think I remember there was a grove nearby. Are these even my memories? Do they belong to that slime? Yeah, nearby. On the other side of the loop. Oh, they spaced it out specifically so that you have to fight the wolf. Poor Strat Wolf. I was right. Some emotional stress, a few colorful images, a bit of adrenaline. Everything will be forgotten like a bad dream. Or remembered as a bad... Damn. But nobody's listening. Got a new weapon. That has counter. Pretty cool. We also have forest. Forest is new. I need to find a place to put my webcam. I guess putting me up here probably okay. Also down here is fine. But I guess up here will work. I don't remember forests. I remember not groves. What are they called? These give you 1% attack speed, which is cool. Plus 2 HP, plus 2 HP for every adjacent rock or mountain. Groves. Not groves. Those are groves. Meadows. Meadows are what I remember more. I think it's time to get some rest. It will force me to retreat. And then we're pretty close to being out of tutorial land and into... Yeah, click anywhere to complete the tutorial. We are now in the game fully. Interestingly enough, we can now see the loop is going the other direction this time. It doesn't matter that much, but you can keep track of it. It looks like a completely different place. It's empty again. Do my actions have any meaning? Like I have a choice. I need to give up. Try to save the world. I'm the worst savior of all. Let's do it. I just love it. It's a very simple, yeah, meadows. But I don't know what forests are. I don't know when you unlock forests. I don't know if we already have them unlocked. But they seem to be an interesting addition. So already I've made... I can recover. I don't want to... I usually put a mountain here. This is a cool little mechanic that they have that I know from the demo. You place the meadow. It has its normal 2 HP effect. If you put anything next to a meadow, it becomes a blooming meadow, which heals 3 HP at the start of each day instead of 2. Instantly, I'm thinking meadow grove right next to the camp. And no reason to not put on the axe. We'll put spiders on that side. We'll put a rock down. And that can have a meadow here. Oh, we have damage to all rings. There's multiple characters, which I'm going to hope to unlock at least the second one at some point in today's stream. There's a little bit of strategy that I just already know, and I'm sort of doing it without talking about it too much. Oh, cool. So weapons have, all of the items have like a default effect. Like rings, each different icon has effect. So the spiky ones will always have a damage to all. But if they have a different color, like this one has the gold, it'll have a number of, like blue has 1 extra effect, the gold has 2, and then orange has 3. So this one has a counter and a regen, does slightly less damage. I'm gonna go for that, because counter can be pretty interesting. Road Lantern we just got, it decreases the maximum number of enemies you can face in a tile. I can do that there, just to have some placement. Up at the top, we have a bar towards when the boss is there. That only fills when you place items on the map. As you remember things, you gain placement. You place things, as in which is the remembering, and that fills the bar. So you can always sort of, if you want to farm up, like every loop, the enemy level goes up, meaning that they're like slightly stronger. But if you want to wait, you can wait forever. I could do that, but I actually want some more enemies. Meadows next to meadows don't transform. Only other things other than meadows transform meadows. And adjacency works on diagonals sometimes, or doesn't work on diagonals. I don't... adjacent tiles... Ooh, that's a big buff of a shield. It's called % attack speed and a bunch of extra defense. You go for that easily. This kind of adjacency only matters on the edges. What does this mean? Ooh, treasury. So a treasury is interesting. You can't be built adjacent to anything, which implies... Oh, wow. Bench is just bad luck. You can't place it adjacent to anything, which includes a diagonal, right? Because, like, I can't place it here. But as soon as you surround it, it'll be, everything will be good. We can place another spider cocoon down. A beacon is better for attack speed and stuff. So I'm just gonna put it there. It hits a lot of tiles. So if we get big damage, we can really work on that. Also, I could go full into an attack speed build. Thinking about it, big damage, attack speed. That's what we're going for right now. Because you sort of just kind of have to go with the flow, but also, like, you have a little bit of control for yourself. You can try to push a build, because it doesn't scale so fast that, like, you'll have no chance if you wait too long. And here, we're gonna get something cool, because that turns this into a harpy loop. Some people... So, people like Mountain Peaks, they spawn a harpy, and they do +5 additional for every adjacent rock or mountain tile. So, you can actually go even one layer out from it. Surround it with only mountains and rocks to gain the most amount of health, and then use... So... I think, from what I have seen... I don't know about all of these, but I know that some of these slots are character dependent. I don't know if you can unlock extra slots for characters too, but I know that some of these, like, the boot slot is specifically something that is commonly, like, it's one of the items for the thief or rogue or whatever. If, you know, no reason to not go axe over that. If we weren't kind of in an attack speed build, I would take it. So the battlefield is interesting. As you now see, we've spawned a goblin camp because we placed 10 mountain tiles. Rocks and mountains are the same tile, basically. You're gonna die. We have no healing. Attack speed, evasion, damage to all. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Bonus magic damage. We are going to die. Stop. Where did these goblins come from? I don't remember remembering you. We remembered ourselves. Now give us all you got. No idea what's going on, right? Why don't you help me restore order to the world first, and then you can do anything you want. Goblins must rob! No other order in the world. Fair enough, I guess. No, don't have any valid objections here. Oh, wait, I do have one. How about... Stab him. The enemies can evade you as well, which is what he keeps doing. Vampire Mansion. We finally got the Vampire Mansion. 15 minutes. We've restarted. We're on, like, first loop status. We haven't missed anything major. Need to put down mountains. And another treasury. I think we're just going to keep the Vampire Mansion in hand, because I don't even know if we're going to live through this loop. Cool things. You can sort of place these across from each other, and then anytime there's overlap, they become a blood path. Doesn't change the effect that they cause, but it adds an additional effect. What we're gonna do right now, we're just gonna, like, beacons stack. What do you mean, no? Want to save the world? Want to ask for our help? Our answer is no. How did you? I know. Too far away, deep inside. For a long time, there has been just emptiness instead of sky. Stop us from seeing. The saving of the world is one-sided and naive. Each person sees their own way of saving. No way. That's why no one will ever join you. Fine. I don't understand it, but tell me your vision. What does save the world mean to you? My progeny and my kin, for them to be strong and to live, part of the cycle of life and death. It is life itself. It is the world. I will kill you and feed your remains to my starving younglings, and life will go on. How many lives did your blade give birth to by killing again and again? Only one. I don't want you or your children to die of starvation. Please try to see reason. Because my throat's a little bit sore. That's why. Also, I just assume that no one knows how to shout anymore, because it's all, everyone's forgot. If my mission succeeds, Harpies can have the sky, and the hunting ground, and all the hunting grounds they need. I can't feed my children with your beautiful words. It's time to say goodbye. And I'm gonna die to this harpy. I'm gonna... Or this slime. The slime is killing me right here. Oof. I'm dead now. So I lost a bunch of things, which is sad, because I wanted those things. But we didn't get vampire... We don't have a lot. Oh. I can't believe it, everybody. The boy has managed to return. Survivors? Does it mean I'm not alone anymore? Where do you come from? There's still a place without darkness? No, not where we came from. Or we can't remember. These people you see are only a small part of what's left of the group, I think. Not sure? We're not sure. We reached that conclusion because of the abandoned luggage and leftover daily rations. Each day, new signs of presence of the people that, as far as everyone knows here, have never even been with us. Like we forgot them. We forgot? Exactly. It's like our people disappear every day, and we instantly forget they ever even existed. Almost as if we forgot the place we came from, our families, maybe even ourselves. Her name is Yota. That's the part I still remember. Nobody else's memory is in much better shape. But I remember so little about myself. Everything is forgotten. Wait, you said I'd managed to return. That means you remembered I was here? Yes, that's why it's so important to us. We saw you leave, but you were gone before we could approach you. Listen, we can't wander around in this emptiness anymore. There's a campfire and a few sleeping bags here, a real luxury in these dark times. What do you say? Oh, of course. I'd be grateful if we could team up. I want to restore everything. I've begun to remember the world as it was before. There's no point in it without other people. Too lonely without them. Remembering the world? I don't understand what you're talking about. I'm too exhausted. Me, all the time, every day. But we'd be glad if you could help us. And we'd be glad to help you. Don't ask us to go with you. I don't know how you managed to return, but for us, leaving the group is too dangerous. I'll ask no such thing of you. For now, I just want to have a place to return to. A place where I can hear other people's voices. We weren't joking about helping you. Here's a few things. Oh. You got items. You got items! Which means we can build the field kitchen. I just need to look around for a second. I need to survey the world around me. We want to get rations. Metal would be good. Yeah. Yeah, let's build that here. Do you know the difference between a good cook and a bad cook? Food made by a good cook is tastier. But are you waiting for something more elaborate? Sometimes the truth is very simple. Look, I have a cauldron, a hearth, a couple of knives, bucket of potatoes, 3 onions, and some ham. Nothing special. Everything is very simple. Give me a few minutes and everyone in the camp will be running to my table, following the tasty smell of a good stew. Alright. Good man. Like that guy. That unlocks the possibility of the refuge, which gives us a new class. We're gonna go for that. That's something I really want to see. Also, gymnasium. Very important. More important than this. Because the village card is the key to any good run in this game I've ever seen. You can actually look at the deck building elements right now. We can have between 7 and 12 cards. Overall, Bloodgrove is a very important card to have. Because it's the Cheese Lord. Lord of Cheese. Rock and Mountain are the same, such that if you delete one, you delete the other. Alright. Sounds good. Spider Cocoon is okay. I don't really like Beacon. I don't see the reason behind Beacon's existence. And Road Lantern just it takes a slot. So we're gonna thin the deck a little bit and try to go back. Really, it's about getting early quality equipment. An evasion ring to give 9% evasion off of the bat. That's pretty good. We're gonna put down a cemetery. And we're gonna start with rocks. And we're gonna put the grove down here and put the blood grove here, such that it overlaps with the base. An important tactical move. Put the shield in. I guess this is an imperfect spot for the mountain. Finally got a sword. Do some bonus damage. What material does that? Is it rocks? Pebbles you get from that, okay. Meadows. Meadows have to give you something. Oh, meadows are rations. We're wanting to place a lot of meadows right now. Better sword, almost certainly. Worse shields. We can put down another grove here. You know what? I'm just not even gonna big brain it. I'm just gonna start placing meadows around that. I always feel like a little bit of extra max health versus a extra bit of sustainability. The sustainability always pays off more dead. We got a new ring. That's counter. We don't need counter. We're not playing a counter build right now. We placed all of our materials. Hey, Johnny, how's it going? Playing Loop Hero. Just came out. New release. So skeletons have big defense, it feels like. 3 defense and vampirism. Better than 9% evasion, I feel. Because now we take less damage and we're starting to heal a little bit. Vampire Mansion, easy to put it down here. Having a Vampire Mansion down in the early phase, early times, seems like a value add to any run. You definitely want to place this, because it'll spawn a chest whenever you go around the loop, and you're right at the end of the loop. Timing is a very important component. Gotta time things. Ooh, okay, so we could lose a little bit of defense, which will mean we'll take more damage, but we could heal more of our HP. I think for now we're going to keep that on hold. We're going to just, like, we'll know that that's an option available to us. Back off, human. Vampire? Where are your lands? If your farmers need help, I would be glad to offer it. No more lands, no more flock. Only hundreds of years of emptiness. Why are they slightly German? Who knows? And hundreds of years of hunger. Save yourself while you still can. I don't know how long I'll be able to keep my head straight. For hundreds of years, what are you talking about? Your mind is easy to trick, but you can't trick my hunger. It demands its share. Every sip, every drop of blood will go to satiate. I'm too weak, but you can help me. Now I will set this crumbled world right. Right. I'm not doing this just for myself, but for everyone, in the name of good. So be grateful for my hard work and let me bleed you dry. Very scary vampires. They heal themselves on every hit, which we're not doing big damage right now, so they get to hit me a lot. It's not a great fight, but look at that. More health, counter, vampirism. Now we're the vampires. The vampires often owned our lands. They kept the peace, helped our settlements to prosper. This won't do it all. Now they're just pale shadows of their former selves, both physically and mentally. Apparently the blood of other creatures can't sustain them. I wasn't joking about the hunger. Even the creatures that stand near him are imbued with the power to devour someone else's life. So that's to say that when you fight vampires, everyone has lifesteal. Also, it hints into the fact that there's a synergy between the village card and the vampire mansion. And finally, we now made the big mountain again. Treasure chest. Gonna be good, because we can heal off the treasure chest somehow, which I don't really fully get, but, you know. Build into the vampirism. Build in the vampirism build. We're now at 20% vampirism. Also, better damage. Better defense, better magic damage, and attack speed. Lose out on vampirism. So, what I'm gonna say is, drop that, pick up that, higher vampirism, 1 lower defense total, and now we have some magic damage. The next mountain I place will spawn the goblins, and I don't really like the goblins. We're gonna wait on that. Meadow, though. Meadows are always free to place. Place them anytime you want. Magic damage 7, evasion 6%. We're in the vampire. We're vampire build now. We suck blood. That's what we do. Oh, we're fighting a mimic. Second battlefield? Sure, man. We're not in a counter build, so actually buffing that's fine. And then that leads me to ask, do I want the extra magic damage coming up here into Skeleton Land? No. The vampirism's enough for now. This run is much better than the last one. I'll give that easily for free. That's free info. Anyone who wants it. That's just like so much better in every regard, other than that this one doesn't have AoE damage, but the AoE damage is so small that no one would care. No. What do you mean, no? We've already seen this. We've already seen this, though. By fixing one evil, I become the source of another. No home for harpies except the highest mountains. There's no food there. Can't imagine they managed to survive. Their mountains were cut from reality. Probably cannibalism. Just facts. We're now healing a lot when we fight slimes. Second vampire mansion. Interesting, interesting. I'm beginning to think, like, why not just put him there? A little bit of vampires? Never hurt anybody. We now have an Oblivion. And what I'm going to show... so actually, do I want to be fancy with it? Because you can be fancy with it, and you can farm up notable change by deleting the mountain in the middle here, and then changing it back. Or do I want to get smart with it, place the mountain, delete the goblin camp I don't want to fight? We're going to play fancy. We're farming. We're farming today. Gives you notable chain. Metamorphosis is a hard resource to farm normally, so getting more of it. Quality. A good time. We have a meadow, we have a meadow, we have a rock. We can put down a mountain next to that because it'll give us more health. No reason to go for that. Actually, so it's 4% attack speed for 1 less damage. There actually is a reason to go for that. But we're not going to do it, because I want to start farming up a little bit of metal, too, and you only get metal when you get rid of these items. Also, I like how you steal health from chests. 6% for 4% attack speed seems okay. And a little bit of regen per second. Now we're seeing a lot of things appear on the map. Magic damage, regen, damage to all. Just the 8 extra is enough to think about that. Bigger enemies you fight, the better the loot is. So we're just gonna keep looking at loot, making sure we're getting the best vampirism build we can have. We do seem to be on the low side of vampirism now. Ooh, big boy down here in the grove. It's gonna be a pain because there's gonna be a vampire with him. That means that guy's gonna have vampirism. Oof, I have some amount of regret, but we're gonna change those regrets into stock profits. We're gonna profit from these stonks. No reason not to put a blood grove down, I feel. I kind of want Grove here, and I'm worried about these 4 slots. I don't like fighting goblins. Goblins are bad. I do not like them. They attack quickly. Up damage to all, reduce magic, same regen. I think that's better, slightly. It's a very hard thing to tell. Down some rocks here, those will get more HP. Big attack speed boost, but we will lose vampirism, and vampirism is important to the build. We're just gonna farm resources. Right now it's pure resource hours. You know what? Put a spider cocoon down because I don't give a shit. I'm not worried right now, because if this guy's not doing enough... Slightly lower damage... Vampirism... These are the exact same weapon. Except this one is just better. We now heal from fighting vampires. That's pretty good. This run is not... We're not trying to beat boss 1 here, because it's going to be hard to do no matter what happens. That like nearly doubles our damage. Yeah, my brain said that, you know, That's the kind of thing where you can big profit off that. I don't see a reason to place those, but, you know, let's start pulling this out. I really want an Oblivion. Please, someone give me an Oblivion card. Do one of you have an Oblivion on you? Any of you. Meadow's pretty nice. Don't get me wrong. Stop dodging. It's like 4 dodges in a row. What's your dodge percentage? I wish I could farm up more, even more of the rations, because we're way low on those, it feels. That's gonna just make me do more damage to these guys, I feel. But it also feels like magic damage perhaps doesn't... That's just better. Better weapon. And that's... we're in the big heals. Big heal zone. We're just farming resources right now. Not anything we can really easily, like, move forward on. We got an Oblivion. Finally. I'm gonna get rid of that camp, because I don't like them. They've been there the longest. They had inverse tenure. They'd been on my nerves so long that I wanted them gone. Ooh. Big attack speed buff, slight nerf to that. So that's plus 12 attack speed, minus 2 vampirism. I think that's better. Because, like, the faster you attack, the better vampirism is. It's good to not change anything with that, but, like, just get a bonus chest. We're almost done. We could finish that off, but there's no reason to finish it off without a meadow. Because that's what I want to put there anyway. Meadow. Yes, please? Like, it loses 5%, but we gain a bunch of HP. We're starting to get memory fragments. I don't know when that resource comes into play, but we're working towards it. Takes so many rations to make a food supply. That's a vampirism shield. I see no reason to not take vampirism shield. every time a card gets left out. It is a really strong build. Vampirism is so good. Evasion is also really good. Apparently they nerfed the evasion build because everyone was going evasion builds at one point in, like, beta. What I've heard, evasion got nerfed because there's now, like, there's a bar here. There's a gray bar that you can see that's like every time you do an action, that's like your stamina. And so if you're evading too much, you're doing too many actions. That can run out, and then you can't act. Full arm is interesting because it's reduces the vampirism, but like it raises the defense by a bunch. Let's do it. Who cares? Yeah, it does seem interesting, and it's still a valid build. Like my first win was an evasion build, I believe. It was like not bad. It's not like they made it unplayable. Right now, we're just in straight up farm mode because I want to try to get more food supplies so we can get upgrades. Which is why, for the most part, I'm willing to just sort of deal. Also, we're putting a rock here, because we want as few spaces next to the camp as possible. And right now, there's only 2 valid spots next to the camp. And I could just slap down both of the blood groves, but there's no reason to do that. And we're definitely not putting a vampire mansion there, because I don't want the vampire mansion... I don't want a vampire along with the boss. I think it's specifically made to nerf the build that is just counter plus evasion, where you just counter and evade infinitely. It's big evasion armor. You know what? Go spear. The amount of sustainability we've managed to... Oh, damn. We've managed to reach, even without having access to villages, is so good. Like, we are nearly sustainable just without even having villages along the route. Otherwise, farming this much would not be possible. I think after this loop, we might take it back, because we're going to start reaching a spot where, like, we've gotten the maximum amount of stable metal we can for one run. But actually, I feel there's no reason to not just fight the boss, actually. Like, looking at this... At the end of this fight, I'm gonna look into... better health, better vampirism. Sure. gonna put down this treasury. We're gonna put down the meadows next to the treasury. We're gonna put down a bunch of mountains and rocks. Pop the treasury instantly, which is looped into giving us another treasury. We're gonna put spiders. And that was perfect. That was actually optimal placement of the goblin set. It appears we are actually going to die if we fight the boss. Something I've done is horribly wrong for this build. Horribly wrong for this build. The worst I could have made decisions. But, you know... Yeah, but, like, 3% doesn't seem that powerful. Or... You know, however much it goes up by, I don't actually know offhand. Ow! Those guys hit hard. These guys hit like a truck. Damn. Damn, dude. Huh. So, well, you know, let's think about it. Can we get out of this? 8% of our vampirism comes from the spring, but we could get some evasion. We can only reach like less than even 20% evasion. We're dead. But we kept a fair amount at least. Didn't expect the loop level to give me that hard. Yeah, small group dragged me here. Also interesting, many of them vanished right before our eyes. Some we managed to avoid. I think most of the beasts were gone before we left the camp. Your trips are deeply connected to your memories, my friend. Everything falls apart as soon as you're unconscious. Oh, okay. What can we build? Fucking nothing. I really want the gymnasium, because the gymnasium is literally that wouldn't have gone as bad if I had had villages the whole time, and upgrades. Like, Herbalist Hut's good, like, all of this is good. Yeah, no other options. What can I... Oh, Chrono Crystals? Chrono Crystals I see no reason to not have. Get rid of the cemetery, you know? Who needs it? Oh, you need 2 cards here. Still want the cemeteries. We're looping the other direction now, right? Early treasury. No reason to not just put down the shield. Put the shield on. Damage to all, I guess. Counter ring. Like, what if I guess there's never a perfect spot to put them in. Battlefield early on the loop. Battlefield gives you a chest spawn every loop, which is why you want it early, because the chest is going to have loot in it relative to the loop level, which means you don't want it at the end, because then the loot will be basically useless coming around the next loop. But loot progression isn't even that fast, so it's not a huge deal. Grove into Blood Grove. Like, that gave me a good boost, because it gave me an early pull arm. I don't know why Cemetery exists. It just doesn't seem to be that interesting. Okay. Double the effective day tiles there. And you know what? We'll put a spider cocoon down, because we can. And second growth. Gotta get resources. That's all we're here for. Resources only. So these, the things in this range will get doubled, which is kind of cool. Rock, rock. We got 2 Oblivions to hold on to for a little bit. That's good. Big defense. Yeah, chests can't always be Mimic, you know? Sometimes they gotta have their own lives. You really want to get village cards as fast as possible. I guess there's like... Just put the cemetery early on the loop. I don't like that the wolves have moved out of their forest next to the vampire now. Magic damage counter. No. Also, enemies killed here can become ghosts. But that doesn't matter as much as other things. Bad. You fight more ghosts. You have to fight the ghosts. Also not the worst. Mimic. Oh no. I don't know if that can become a ghost, because it doesn't have a soul. But also, it hits so fucking hard for being... just better in all regards. Speed shield. No. Actually, yeah, let's build a little bit of an AoE build. Because we're fighting a lot of enemies, it seems. Okay, there we go. Mountain. You know what? We're gonna Oblivion. We're gonna Mountain. We're gonna Oblivion. We're going to Rock. That's... thinking with portals. A little bit of vampirism goes a long way, but, you know, we're in defense and AoE build right now. You break that as soon as you finish the loop. That's my thoughts on the matter. What? Oh, it didn't transform because of the speed. They're like half health right now. What would I take home? Am I powerful enough to go around again? That's the question. I feel like I kind of have to, right? Put a meadow down here. Got to do a little bit of AoE, you know, a little bit of damage, a little bit of healing. Put down meadow, because we're wanting more of these. We want to get around back to our base, alive and well, with as many rations as we can possibly carry. Without even thinking, I'm putting on the bigger heal. I fucking hate that things can just, like, we have no idea what the evasion on enemies are. Like, give us some idea what we're dealing with. Because when I see someone evade 6 times in a row, my eyes just want to roll back into my skull and then die. Come on, give me meadows, please. There we go. Another meadow. It's meadows, please. Any meadows? Thank you. No, we're gonna let those cycle. We're gonna keep getting more meadows, as many more meadows as we can afford before we get back to base, because we're gonna take back at least these 3 if we can. Hit me all you want, Harpy. You can't beat me. How many rocks does it take? It takes 10 pieces of rock in order to... We might as well get a wood for free, because this is going to be our last loop. I don't know if that matters. Get a rock for free. We're gonna live. Enter the planning phase. Enter the planning phase. I want to plan. Because I want to place down all these rocks and stuff around the treasury. And then I want to blow up the mountain one time. Okay. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna place... Okay, so what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to place here, such that I can put the Chrono Crystals and the Vampire Mansion and the Vampire Mansion, and then finish off by surrounding it on all sides with these. That'll break that down, and that allows me to break this again, and then I put down the rock again, and that gives me more metamorphosis. And put down rock, put down battlefield for all I care. And then we're gonna retreat with all of our resources. Another success. You've returned, and we still remember you. Unbelievable. This is good to be back, but I hardly call it a success. Old memories of the world are gone. The path is simply empty again. There's only darkness everywhere I look. Interesting. So technically you remember that there are things you have forgotten. Find a way to use that. Talk about something more positive. We managed to tidy this place up. Time for the next step. What do you have in mind? Expanding the camp. We have all sorts of craftsmen, from cooks, alchemists, all need a place to work. Yeah. Use materials, yeah. Curious, I noticed it with the fire you've made. Things you obtain somehow infect everything with similar stability, only in small amounts, but it's still something. Even a small branch is enough to make a wooden wall exist without constant supervision. Interesting. Easiest choice of my life. First pick, gymnasium. Okay, so what we need to make sure can only be built next to a field kitchen. So we're gonna need that to be next to the field kitchen that exists. Gymnasium. Gymnasium can go. Learn a few things. We could all get together and share our useful knowledge and skills. I already know all the things I need to. Leave learning to the kids. First lesson. Learn to like learning. That would make life easier for the both of us. Wow. Sassed. I've been sassed. The smithy is so good, but in the end, we want the refuge in this stream. And we have 2 hours left. We've done only 1 hour and 13 of this. Or so. So, overall, I'm thinking refuge, we can get that next run. It's the wood's a hard part. The wood's the hard part, but I believe in the ability to get there. Also, cemetery is new. Oh, cool. This is literally to make that one card useful. That's interesting. We could get the Herbalist Hut, which is cool for vampires because it the swamp makes healing effects take health instead, so you can have vampires sort of just die that way. Now we can remove cemeteries and place villages instead. That's huge. This is huge change. 15 plus 5 times loop HP upon entering gives you a quest. Do I need... Is there anything else I don't need? I think that's probably good. We're probably good. We can go... Ooh, we're flipping the script again. Look at that. Early Vampire Mansion. Again, we're gonna place a rock. Put the ring on. No reason not to. Put the rock down. We need wood, so we need to put down groves as fast as possible. Blood grove, that's not what I need. Village. Okay, so battlefield. Want it early. We also really don't want it to over... we can overlap it with the vampires a little. Spider cocoon can go down here. And instantly, I'm thinking we put down that, because this will change in 3 turns. And well, in 3 loops, and we've now made it such that the loops are a little bit early. Because this first loop counts without us having to fight in there. I forgot to put on a shield. Put down a chrono crystal and like 3 of the metal. Yeah, heal us right before we get there. Ooh, bandit camp. No, thank you. What does doubling up blood rose do? This is not good for us. We're not... this is fine, but like, would prefer other, you know, upgrades first. Oh, good. They gave me a quest to fight one of the ghouls. So the quests give 200% HP to things, and then beyond that, I really don't know. I guess after you complete them, you get a little bit of... We now have an EXP bar. And you get a little bit of EXP, and then when you get back around to the village, they give you an item, I believe. Oh, good. Mimic on the first loop. It could spawn. Who doesn't love Mimic on the first loop that it could spawn? I'm thinking, why not? Mountain it up. RP mountain time. You're not nearly as high on branches as I would want to be. Can I get more groves, please? Can I get anything out of this loop that's worthwhile? Other village? Sure. I would like to space them out more, but, you know, sometimes you gotta just place all of your villages at the start. We did get a bonus, and that's a good weapon. I like it. I like it a lot. Ooh, we got a level up. Supplies. The hero leaves 10% of his findings in the camp when passing through. Somersault, which is... I think the protection is just one of the strongest sort of additions to a build, because it gives you a health bar that you can use as extra time to heal up your main health bar. And that's value. Gonna really slap that in. When you see, when you're on like low level, yeah, building cities. Give me one meadow and then that can pop. Ooh! I've never seen this man before. Whose man's this? Who brought the dark slime? The cosmic slime. The slime of the sky. Might as well. That guy was new. We got another grove. We completed a quest. You know what? With the villages, I think it's time to spec a little bit into the evasion build. Let's, like, show it off. We need so much more wood. Oh, there's another grove. Oh, we're getting there. And we got the meadow. I should have done that after. I'm so dumb. Make so many dumb mistakes. I'm thinking, do I want same defense? That loses me a bunch of magic damage, actually. Ooh, we got our loop bonus. We've now looped 3 times since placing down the Vampire Mansion, which means this is now turned into the Count's Lands, which gives me 60 extra HP on entering, relative to a normal village, and a better quest. Vampirism and evasion? Sure, buddy. We're getting close to another goblin camp spawning, I think, but I don't know how much I care. We're getting a lot of HP out of those. Gotta keep looping. And now that we're here, now that we're at the early part, right about to hit the loop, that's when we slap a second battlefield vendor. That's easy money. Why not have that area also work? You now only have 2 spots of possible badness when it comes to do all enemies fought on top of groves give wood? Is that that's how that works? Interesting. So, given our current wants and desires, It actually might be interesting to sort of do a little bit of that. Ritual sword. That's a huge damage buff. It loses me evasion and vampirism. Well, you know, let's put on vampirism. And we're skipping out on evasion. Evasion's dead to us. Evasion can't come to the phone right now because it's dead. Grove. We'll have a second Grove set we can walk through. We need to get 9 wood in order to be able to buy the upgrade that gets us the other character class. Mountain. Rock. We could go back into evasion, but our vampirism's doing so good right now. Also, fuck you, Goblin Camp, thinking you can come back here? I again should have waited. But who cares? Putting down another. Oh, we now have bandits. Bandits are. Bandits are now a thing. Better defense. All that matters. Oh, also, kinda forgot. That's now... You know, it was all tactics. It was all tactics. Everything was tactical. It was all... Everything was planned. We're just waiting for... Ooh, another level up. Let's see what we get. Blade of Dawn is interesting. I think Shieldmaster, like 1 second of stun, that just like given that we're in a sustainability build, like the ability to just stop people from attacking and then like hitting them in the face with more damage just sounds like a good plan. So that's like 5 extra damage, 3 to 5 extra damage. But we lose 7 magic damage. I think we're gonna keep the magic damage for now. Like look at the stun. That guy hasn't attacked in like 3 turns. Oh, also he's a ghost now. Another battlefield. We're now 2/3 of the way to the amount of wood that we need. The evasion build calls to me. at all times. All hours of the night. It does not care about my schedule. There's a chance, like, it takes 12 branches. We're gonna get, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We'll be very close to where we needed to be on the sticks if we can get through this loop. Oh yeah, there's another grove. So we're gonna go into planning mode, because if you look, you know, groves are good, right? So we want to place them out here. We're gonna place down meadows, because we need HP back. And always getting more food supply is good. I don't really see why, like, why am I not getting better armor or anything? What do you mean gamble with the treasury? What do you do? Right. And we'll have enough to go around one at least. Oh, I guess, yeah, it does give you random resources. What we're gonna do. We're just gonna loop, and we're gonna hope that those goblins don't spawn before we get around them, and that way we'll never have to deal with them. Our actions will never have to face the consequences, you know? I'll put down that. Put down another bandit camp. I find it interesting that the bandit camp didn't exist in the demo. We're hoping for one more resource, one more of these cards to put down around that treasury so we get... Oh, there we go. You know, I really should have looked into that, but also, this doesn't matter. You may be thinking, you fool, you buffoon. You have summoned him. He is here, and he will take your bones, and he will eat them. But not today. Because, funnily enough, he will not have a chance. And what I'm going to need to do is basically I'm going to just keep going into planning mode. Now the question is, with my current health, with my ability set here, 25% vampirism, damage, a little bit of defense, stun. Do I go at him? Do I fight that man? who I did not mean to spawn? Do I just take this as the time? The gods on high have looked down and said, now is the time that you fight boss 1. Or do I run away like a little bitch directly after these wolves? Because both are an option. Both options are available to me. Put down Meadow, put down Meadow, put down Meadow. Do I fight the boss here? Right now, at this moment, or do I run? I can run, and I can take all these resources home, guaranteed. No danger, no anything. We have one do it, and we have one run. Because in the end, how much... Can I check the boss? There's some way to check the boss, I feel. We're fighting the boss. I forgot. We have the health bar. We have the extra health bar. That changes everything. It changes everything. How is this possible? That's right. You didn't devour me like the rest of the world. Haven't I? Do you even know? Do you really? Do you really don't think so? That doesn't make any sense, does it? Wouldn't it be not think so? Lich needs to go to fucking grammar school. What are you talking about? I'm standing right in front of you. I consumed all of your reality. Every one of its elements now rests in a separate pocket dimension. Spaces, living beings, information. Even memories shall remain there till entropy does its work, turning everything into a static mass. Along with you, of course. You're insane. So what we have here, I see you found a way to interact the pieces of your reality, to organize, combine, and merge them. But how? I don't see any exceptional talent or knowledge in you. At least I know that you don't say don't there, bitch. Hardly understand what is happening, right? I'll tell you what's happening. A pile of bones is butchering my world and things that can get away with it. You're already doomed and you know it. Perhaps you are just the first in a series of systematic errors. A problem I must learn to solve. Let's not waste time, then. I don't think you're capable of feeling regret, but I'm about to change that. And now we fight him. We do damage, and we get the stuns. We have the stuns. Oh, he does a lot of damage. He does a lot of damage, guys. But every time we get a stun, remember, he needs to get down to 15% HP. (75% health, 75 health, and the evades. We're gonna do it. We actually have it. Nonsense. This is impossible for so many reasons. I don't understand. Now put everything back like it was before. I can't. I've already completed my task, even if the result is not perfect. You're in no position to refuse, you sack of bones.
already received everything I could gather. I just wanted to see how our crusade against the universe would end. Witness what would come of it. My presence is no longer required.
Who is he?
I get it. You're connected somehow, right? That's why. Find out soon enough. This anomaly will not escape its attention, and my explanation would be meaningless to you.
Just spare me your wheezing and just die. If that sack of bones is telling the truth. He's not even dead, dude. He's just still there. Just don't talk about him like he's gone. A very long journey ahead. I built my whole world from scratch. I'll build my whole world from scratch if I have to. The skull of that monster will be the first brick in its foundation. Oh boy. We now have the ability to get a permanent upgrade. I'm a resource farming guy. We got Orb of Immortality. We got 2 Orbs of Expansion. And now we're gonna retreat. Everybody listen, the Lich is dead. The curse has been lifted, but... What Lich? And what curse? I believe you, of course, but we have no idea what you're talking about. You don't remember the dead sorcerer? The one in the fur coat holding the scepter? All shrouded in star nebulas, floating above the world, and his shining wings and eating it piece by piece? That's strange. Everything looks the same around here. Why? Guess he's not the only reason for this darkness, then. Skeleton mentioned him. Whoever he is, he must have something to do with the obliteration of the world. Seems I have no other option but to continue my expeditions. Yep. That do be true. We have an upgrade ability. We could upgrade this. But we're not gonna do that. We're in build zone. Build time. I'm so sad. We are so close to getting both the smithy and the refuge. Refuge has to go down. There's no other way. There's exile even in exile, hero. Don't be hard on the lost souls who have found their salvation in wine and gambling. Sit down in bed and pick yourself a poison to drink. Oh, I am here. It's so strange. Place and its surroundings. They're familiar to me. Now we're talking. But did you make a living off the road? A bit of robbery, maybe? Collecting bounties for someone's unlucky head? If someone else knew and did all of this, now I have their knowledge and skills. Now I somehow, literally, have 2 aces up my sleeve. I think I stole someone's purse, too. Wait, that's my coin purse. You don't believe me? Oh, well. Feel free to come by if you want to discuss your new trade. I didn't become this good with knives by working in the kitchen, you know? Cool. Anything else we could... We're low on wood. Why is it always wood? Why is wood the resource we need the most? Farm is good. This is our next upgrade path. Smithy, Herbalist Hut. But we've now unlocked the refuge. We've unlocked the Rogue. And we've unlocked Chapter 2, which means enemies now have... So enemies go from having to 0 to 1 abilities, -5 strength. They grow 2% per loop, actually, so that's even less than I thought. And we could have max resources of 10 to being 1 to 2 abilities, enemies at normal strength, they gain 3 per loop. We get 40% bonus resources and max resources of 20. So a class that doesn't have any particular benefits or disadvantages has the highest durability compared to other classes. Plus 2% damage for each second of the fight. Didn't know that that's how that worked, but that's cool. So regeneration, evade, vampirism, defense versus evade. So you don't get vampirism as the rogue. Also, it seems you have 2 weapon slots and no ring slot. I kind of feel like loop me again on chapter 1 one time, right? Because we need to learn a little bit, you know, about how this character works. Number of trophies. Oh yeah, you just start with vampirism. Number of trophies to exchange for rewards in the camp. So instead of getting items, it appears that we have to get back to the camp first. So I can already tell you that this guy has to have higher damage, because he's just going to have 2 weapon slots, which that doesn't equate out to big damage for you. I don't know what does. So I think putting this here makes sense. Then we can put a crystal here. It's hard to figure out where you want to place everything in advance, but you know, you just kind of live and learn. Feel. We want a grove here, because part of my main strategy involves getting Blood Grove directly next to the camp. Oh my god, that's a lot of items. So we have boots, which is evasion 9, or we could get defense 2, critical damage up. 6 damage. We dual wield some axes. Reason not to do that, I feel. And already, I'm thinking grove on both sides. Double grove it, you know? Battlefield. Early enough. Early Oblivion, that's nice, that's nice. I feel like we're about to get destroyed. Okay, spiders are good. I can already tell you, I think spiders are good for this, because spiders are really weak and easy to kill. So boots just seem to give evasion as their default stat. So spiders spawn a lot, and you can kill a lot of them. Vampires, I'm thinking about it, and, like, in my head right now, I do not see a reason to go with Vampire Mansion in these runs. Unless there's a relationship between the quality of the trophies and what you get back. Oh, also killing chests give you resources. It's definitely a different, like, the items are definitely different, at least. Shadow. Mountain. There's our chrono crystals we wanted. Do I want? I think I want them here. And actually, I don't want to hit as many things as I can, but upping the spawn rates here is interesting. We'll wait on that for a second. I want to see what are we getting here. Lower defense for better HP and counter. Trade out 3 defense for counter. We have a 10% chance to crit right now. Which doesn't even do that big of a damage buff, it feels. And then this would put me at 12% evasion. I'm gonna go for some evasion, I feel. And there's literally no reason to not upgrade the sword at that point. So we have to wait. We have to wait a little bit. Also, growth. Because we are poor on the wood resources we have. We're doing big damage with this guy. I like him. Chests don't give you trophies. So they don't have a reason to exist. Because they don't give you drops as this character, and they don't give you trophies. That at least gives you something. What is evasion bonus? Okay, so this should be 11 evasion. Okay. Alright, Forrest, have a good rest of your day. Attack speed, crit damage, magic. I don't really feel there's a reason to trade out our stuff right now. Except maybe. Ooh, 12% crit damage chance. That's pretty good. 22% crit. I don't really care about counter, so like just big crit damage sounds interesting. So might as well invest fully into it. Okay. Ratwolf may come to your aid during battle. 75% chance. 10% chance to attack multiple targets. Yes. I'm feeling that, followed by this as a move. We are dying at an alarming rate. All us bees. You're gonna die right here. I guess retreat. There's literally no reason to not retreat at that point. So we can't upgrade anything right now. Do we have a build? Do we have anything to build? Okay, we can build something for sure. Supply depot's interesting. Getting to farm early is good. I feel like smithy is interesting. The Anvil is 7 Seas. It's a small forge. Oh, I have no idea how I missed the... You have no idea how I missed the heat of the furnace and the smell of metal. We have some good tools now. You can be sure of it, lad. You'll even be able to use some of those during those trips of yours. Quite enthusiastic. Something tells me you're no stranger to seamanship. Shiver me hammers, how did you know? Speak like a stereotyped pirate. Yeah, it's a great game. Would suggest, you know? And if we can upgrade that. I don't know what these resources are. This one. I know those you get from killing bosses, I feel. Right now we only start with the stuff for... We don't start with the gear for the character we were playing. We now are gonna get the smelter at some point. Arsenal golden card? What is a golden card? If the Intel Center is built. Unlocks the Storm Temple card. So really, the smelter, you couldn't make it. You couldn't make the refuge. The only things you could build were gymnasium, field, kitchen, camp, like these upgrades here. And the tree, it goes all the way up. We currently have the new character, the Rogue, who I'm gonna play as again here on the next run. I'm thinking about it, and Vampire Mansion exists just to synergize with the village right now. That's how I see it, but also I don't really know how good that combo is. Yeah. Well, we'll just go. We'll go in, and if things don't go well this time, even though you know, things could go good. Things could be fine. I'm thinking right now, early enough, gotta start doing some. It's interesting how much the dynamic of this character changes versus the other. I'm impressed. Downright gobsmacked even with how good this is. I could do that. Really, I put that one down specifically so that I could try to fight a couple of extra vampires, but I didn't really put full thought into it. I should have. My issue right now is, and actually this might help it, because I want a normal village, and then as soon as I leave here, we're gonna spawn this village, because that means that's loop 1. And those guys are gonna be bandits, but we're not dealing with bandits today. Today is not bandit time. We want as many treasures, as many of these things as we can get, the trophies we can get before we get back to camp. Treasury. And put down the blood grove. Blood grove there, very important. Yeah, I don't want too many vampires. Because really, they don't, like, vampires are good early on in the other, because, with the other guy, because he like, gets good benefits from fighting early, powerful enemies. But overall, this guy doesn't seem to have the same, same stuff, you know? Big damage. No reason to not go for these boots over the others. Also, there's no reason to not place those two. Because even if I want to place a second one of those down, I almost think you might take Battlefield out of this deck. Because, like, it's kind of dead unless you build the, like, big set of multiple. And even then, I think that's what killed me last time. So, I don't even know if that's good. This guy doesn't have nearly as much sustain, and that is sad to me. I would love to see big stab damage with a little bit of ability to take a punch. Yeah, good. Evasion is good. In fact, evasion is very good. We're gonna try to spec into a lot of evasion. Right now, we're now at 25% evasion, which is huge compared to how little we've invested into making ourselves max evasion. We now have 2 villages that we can go to. That's pretty good. Pickpocket. 50% to steal a resource shard from an enemy while parrying. I don't know what parrying is. We don't... Every 10% of HP loss gives you a 5% chance to instantly deal 1,000% damage. Or another of those 2% chances to get a whole resource sphere instead of a chunk. Just more resources. Another quest done. I really want to get another... I want to get an Oblivion card before I do too much more. Because I want to place rocks, but I don't want to have a goblin camp. They seem dangerous. But you know, those who are bold win. Just gotta farm resources. Let's see how... if we ever get a full resource proc. I don't see a reason to not Bloodgrove down here. We now have... We're about to have that transform. Okay, magic, damage to all, counter, crit damage chance. Evasion and attack speed. You know what? We're an evasion build. Kinda wondering. I think we just keep it. We keep it as it is. We have nearly 1/3 evasion. I would prefer not to have to fight those goblins up there. That doesn't seem that likely. They seem to be pretty happy with their lands. They seem to be standing there. Why does that not have evasion? That's usually how evasion armor looks, doesn't it? No, that's how evasion armor. You need to learn the difference. This is not going to be fun. Right here. I guess it's better than it could have been because I do have more than 0 evade. But that was a lot of damage that I just took. For no real good reason. Come on, give me good resource gain. And we have an Oblivion. We have an Oblivion, we hold on to that. But we can sort of... We need more meadows. Meadows are good. I like them. Rocks are fine. I'm fine with rocks, but meadows are better. Ooh, that's a better evasion armor. As in, it's the same evasion armor, but it has nearly twice as much HP and 3 defense. Or 12%. More health, more evasion. I guess more health. And then, you know, you look around, you see the fact you take yourself from doing no damage doing so much damage. You ask yourself, am I right? So much damage? Got a meadow. We nearly two-shot things now. Like, big enemies, two-shot. Nearly one-shot. We did one-shot the vampire with crit. That's pretty good. Lower that, but we get evasion back. And actually, that's better than our other weapon. It's better than this. So that's just straight-up profit. No reason to, you know... Oh, boom. That guy just exploded. You know what? We're gonna look at a new set of traits. After losing 20% of max HP in battle, Hero will evade all attacks for 2 seconds. More damage resist against big groups of enemies. I feel like that's good. Easy, look at all this. Glance around. Anything worthwhile? Anything good? We could up our evasion, but not by a ton. Pretty sure we just sort of just go for it. Let's get more knowledge, I guess, because... Oh yeah, fuss, I forgot. 7% less damage while there's more than one enemy. Like, what is this buff that I have? Where did it come from? Meadow goes up here. We're wanting that proc of like a 2% chance. I feel like it had to have procced on the metal there, because that was a lot of metal we just gained. Evasion plus evasion? Evasion. We're now evading nearly half of the time. That's slightly worse, better evasion, because the math doesn't make sense. Who's to say, you know? I'm not the one who maths. We're getting good gains. Good gains overall. I feel like this loop we're gonna gain a lot. Evasion. Why don't we get any good items? Why are all our items bad? Hey, maybe the enemy shouldn't be able to just evade all the time. That would be good. That would be a good change. I do want another Oblivion at some point, game. If you could give me that, that would be great. I don't want to deal with thieves. I don't believe in it. We need to just keep evading this guy, because he probably hits pretty big. Yeah, 87, I would consider that pretty big damage. Ow. That man hurt. You know what? Put down another heal. Ooh. Ooh. Bonus dodge. We're now over 50%. We're over 50% chance dodge. And in cases where there are multiple enemies, we take less damage. We're too powerful to be stopped. You know what? Put down a mountain. That's pretty good. It's been a while since we got a weapon upgrade. I feel like that's kind of where we're lacking right now. We need some really good weapons in the next cycle around. Like, actually, just like looking at it, why am I not using that over the just other thing that was just big damage but no ability but was lower damage? Who's to say? I have so many what that can't hit. Buttons? That's huge. We're up to nearly 60% evasion. The evasion buff here is big. That's also big. Big evasion. This might be less damage, but it is more evasion, and we are now the fucking stealthiest lag. We are the world's stealthiest lag. We cannot be touched. Except that we evade so much that then we lose all of our stamina real fast. Yeah, we want a bunch of them get scrapped, because that's how you get the metal. But additionally, it's now time. We wanna break that open too. We're doing all right, I think, on this. We're gonna try to fight the boss, I think, as this character, and then we'll have a boss win as both characters. Ah, crack it open. Crack open. Oh, that's the wrong place. Put a village over there too. You know, sometimes you accidentally misplace a little bit, but you know, you win some, you lose some. And we are right now winning a lot in terms of... we now place a meadow there, and that's big. A battlefield next to a village. I don't know if that has a synergy. I will need to see. There's a chance that nothing happens. But, you know, you can always look. That's lower evasion, higher defense. Lower evasion. But we don't need lower evasion. Get out of my face with lower evasion. Hey, I don't remember you. You don't look like a local. Because I'm not. I see. And you think you can just wander around these parts without consequences? Times are rough, you know? Nothing to bite. Nothing to wet one's whistle. And we had to deal with strangers who have no sympathy for our poverty. What, you think you're better than us? No? Did I guess right? This is the correct answer? Because I'm getting the impression this is one of those cases where my answer has zero influence on what happens next. Well, you got insight. But it is the only thing you'll keep today. Come to think of it, murderers and thieves are part of this world too. My mission is to return everything back to normal. Should I be happy they're appearing again? On the other hand, being disgusted with murder and theft is also part of this world. So I guess I don't owe it to anyone to be happy. Wow, dude, deep. I accidentally spawned the boss, guys. Look at me, tactical genius. We get another plus 3 HP after kill. Or Marauder is good if you want to just collect a bunch of trophies. I wish... You know, how much HP is that? It's not a lot of HP. Let's see about this wolf thing. We've also maxed out our, like, pretty much all of our resources except for wood, which we're like we're 1 and a bit woods away from having max wood anyway. That was good. I'm glad that we hit that guy first, because that's the dangerous one. And then here goes pretty much everything. And actually, we can check. Doesn't seem to have any effect on the villages. How is it possible? That's right. You hadn't... Wait, this conversation, I remember it. I've already killed you. What the hell is happening here?
It's I see. So that's how it is. I am just his afterimage, not the original. You have no idea what you have done.
And how many times will I have to do this for the favor by slicing you in half?
I do not think you are able to comprehend this. I am part of a self-defense mechanism. Multitude of copies sent to different realities at the moment of death. My destruction cannot be fixed. But in an endless series of attempts, different outcomes are possible.
It's you know, that's true. Many different outcomes. We've seen them. Right now he has 4 bonuses from palaces, but given that we have like 75% dodge right now, he is super easy. So, I'm thinking, right, 1, we could keep going, but we have no resources that need... We could go for the resources assortment. Because, like, a resurrection charge is good, but, you know, bonus resources. There we go. Now we have a lot that we can do. Cemetery means that we can actually use the card without it being that big of a deal. Oddly enough, what I think we have to go is... like... I kind of want Herbalist's Hut. This is healing herbs. No miracle is that all of these healing bombs still have any effect. We've already lost many people because of the cataclysm. It would be nice to not lose more to disease. These potions can also help you. Take a bottle or 2 on your chip, and your chances of getting back unharmed will be much higher. Interesting. Also, we could technically upgrade the field kitchen right now, which makes the healing of the fire better. But what I really want is I wanted farm, and I wanted to place the farm here. because that's a really good placement to get a lot of, because it spawns a wheat field on all sides. Well, in every non-used adjacent piece. Hunger, for example. You can stop eating for days and you still won't be hungry. This, of course, doesn't mean that you should stop eating altogether. Farmer promises that he'll be able to grow some stable crops, but it'll take some time. It'll be interesting to see what he can grow without sunlight. We could keep building farm. We could build a cemetery. Is there a reason not to? Cemetery leads into crypt. Intel center is interesting because if we build an intel center and then the smelter, we get the arsenal golden card. I don't know what that is. Passing through a cemetery on expeditions grants you a piece of information, can resurrect the hero after an upgrade. I really want supply depot soon, but building the cemetery is not going to guarantee that I can't do that after just like one more run. But I also don't put cemeteries on mini run. I could. Also, this is interesting. After an expedition, it gives you 1 ration for every completed loop, but not more than there are garden tiles around the farm. And it unlocks wheat fields. Wheat fields is a good card. You needed wheat fields. You know, might as well build it, I feel. Give the refuge. Build. Does this have to be like some of these things when they say like, okay, so when we're refuge, can only be built next to a field kitchen. Smelter. A smelter in addition to the forge. What does that even mean? So, I'm thinking about it. And I'm thinking, might as well place above the gymnasium. Thank you. It's a nice place, calm. There's some people. Quiet ones. Look a bit grim, but can tell you many things. And then an upgrade will revive the hero with 15% HP once during an expedition. Cool. We'll need those orbs that I've never seen before. We're now 1 of 2 into that zone. We got 1 of those out of the resource pile. That will allow us to start with any of the, Oh, check out Crypt, yeah. Unlocks the Necromancer class. If the Intel Center... We need an Intel Center. It seems that's important. Because whatever these golden cards are, they sound cool. And Supply Depot. Let's work to get the Supply Depot. Let's go into stage 2 as a warrior. Put cemetery and wheat fields back on. Take off chrono crystals. I feel like Spider Cocoon doesn't need to exist in that set. Also, we can look. %10 bonus for any effect for every equipped item with the same effect. Oh, so that's why he can build up such high stats. That's cool. Yeah, I think might as well try our main class back. We have basic supplies for him. I'm thinking mountains top left. Ooh, we now have to watch out because these guys have 1 to 2 effects. Like, he reduces my armor now. I want more than just slimes to fight, though. Can I get some cards to have things other... Ooh, yeah, that's good. And some vamps. Some vampires. 2 wheat fields, but not a village in sight. Come on, give me something. More rocks. Just spawned a bunch of bats. That's cool. I'll put down just like 2. Put down a second vampire mansion, I guess, because we want resources, but they're not making it easy for us. Why am I not getting any village cards? I want 1 village, at least. Okay, so now the question is, cemetery, we'll do that so we can see what the information does. Village here, that's okay. But, like, I'm also thinking, like, a village here just to have access to healing. Early on, and then we'll turn one of the other ones into a vampire village afterwards. Which is specifically 1, I don't see why not to just put that here. And then, you know, place things down. You need new gear. Can I get gear, please? Yes, please give me gear. Good, thank you. Huh. Fusion. Okay, those now get... So, we basically tend to get 2 items out of things now. That's pretty... That's a lot better. Okay, can you stop dodging every hit? Thank you. Don't target the bats first, please. Use the potion. That's not good. They're dying so fast. Probably because we target the bats instead of the actual enemies. If only I had placed these before things had gone to shit. I could evade at 30%. That's probably good, because right now our vampirism is not helping. In fact, it's not helping to the point where I am pretty confident in my abilities, if I'm just gonna be honest, to just sort of ignore all of it and just try to be defensive for a little bit. Not that I have good chances of having that work. That's new. What just happened there? I've never seen the skeleton turn into a different skeleton. We are gonna die. We have a lot of defense though. We are not taking that much damage. I think actually adding back in a little bit of vampirism is okay. Overall, I'm a big fan. I like this game so far. I'm looking forward to seeing how many chapters there are and what other stuff there is. You have to learn a lot of new stuff because, like, these guys they drop into a corpse and then they eat the corpse to heal. That's interesting. Right now we have enough that we're healing more than we're taking damage. That's gonna change any moment now. We get to here. Treasury, drop a meadow, drop a meadow. Actually put a mountain there, because it's the most health we can get out of something. We will get 2 potions back here. That's gonna be good. We want more stuns. We want more stun. The more stun we have, the better. Okay, meadow. Down a grove. Down a grove. I'm gonna go to Grove Town here. This is Groveville. I want more damage, but I don't want, like, weak damage. Gotta be getting close to another level up here soon. Another cycle or so. I want more. Don't know what I need. Encouragement. Okay. You're about to die at any moment. High vampirism, counter damage to all instead of magic damage, attack speed. We're gonna keep what we have. We're dead here. I don't know if there's a reason, like, oh, you keep 60% if you retreat, keep only 30% if you die. Good to know. Also, I can take all, but I don't know if that's worth it with how little resources we have. I'm gonna retreat with 30%. What are we building toward? So, supply depot is kind of what we want. I think we're gonna we're gonna go back out and we're gonna be this guy, because I think this guy, and we're gonna we're gonna bring back Spider Cocoon. We're gonna get rid of Battlefield. And we'll keep those. We'll keep everything else the same. So this guy could be better on loop 1 if we manage to upgrade the smithy. But right now, he at least has some stuff on loop 1. I think that's going to be good. And then, you know, let's put down an early mount. Who cares? Who's going to stop us? The cops? Not on my watch. Go. Kill him. Get that crit damage. Spiders. Huge. Get them early. And we now have a bunch of mountains, so we're just gonna start placing. We're gonna have big treasure when we get back, hopefully. Hopefully we at least get something that works. And you know what? Put down a second metal. Get that 5 HP back. Defense, magic damage. Defense is good. I see no reason to not max the counter stat. And then double up on spears to do the most damage we can. Right now, double up on the spider cocoons. See what I care. Right now we do massive damage. Right now we are one-shot territory for pretty much everyone but vampires. Vampires we two-shot. 83 shot if they take long enough to kill. We now have village. I think we have to. I think we have to do that. And we put down the wheat fields. We do big damage, and I like that. I like that a lot. That's even bigger damage. Than the weak spear. Evasion from boots. Actually, we'll go crit damage chance. And we'll go crit damage chance. So now we have like a 32% chance of critting. That paired with our massive damage stats, I feel is probably pretty good. Your max HP is increased by 1 for each trophy you have. It's gotta be 7% damage safety when, you know. I don't know what all of these stats are. But, you know, I'll live and learn. I want another village real bad. Because more healing is good for me. Meta. We don't have good healing. We're only ever at 5% vampirism. That doesn't ever go up. I think this is dangerous here. Again, we're in danger zone. Okay, village here is important. Do we have enough that we can get big evasion? Because if we can get big evasion, there's a chance. But if not, we probably just have to fall back. Because we are not healing fast enough. Yeah, we're gonna retreat, and we're just gonna run it back. And this might be our last run. I'm starting to feel my throat a little bit more than normal. What can I do to change things? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. With this character right here, you need to respect healing, because you don't get a lot of it. I did not put enough respect on the healing. And that is what cost me. So don't just like after waiting forever to get a village, don't just put it into being you know, a vampire village right away. Make sure you wait a little bit. Grove, Blood Grove is a good combo. Because just being able to cut 15% health off of the final boss is value that you can't scoff at it. I'm gonna bet fighting and walking through wheat fields gives you. I can't place wheat fields, I forgot. You can't place them until you have a village. Okay. So that's probably the best armor we have. Boots. Everything is... Do I want defense? Probably not. I think probably just go with as much damaging as I can do. That's good. We kill the skeletons fast enough, though. Early village. That's good. That's good. Then a wheat field. Maybe you just gotta scale this guy a little slower, you know? Maybe you just gotta be acknowledging the fact that this guy, you're gonna need a couple extra loops, you know? %. Increase with damage for all. What's better? 11 to 17. Who cares about AoE? Right? Also, slightly worse, but also better in other regards. And, you know, you don't need max HP. You don't need as much max HP as you do need the ability to keep your HP. We're gonna wait. Actually, we'll put that here. Because we're gonna make a village here. We'll have a village here. We'll maybe have a village on this stretch, you know? Sort of just space them out a little bit. We're still killing skeletons before they hit us, which is big money. That's the big dollar bills. Some spiders around that corner. Where's the boss? Where's the quest enemy? Okay. No reason to not use that over either of those other weapons. Because it's the same damage range, but it has defense and attack speed. Slightly worse, but bigger crit chance. I'm just thinking big damage. What I'm thinking about. Would love to get some better just stat items eventually. You know, that would be cool. That would be cool. So skeletons sometimes become other skeletons. That's one of their abilities, I assume. And we're gonna get down some meadows. I should have put the meadows around that. Why was I not thinking? I forgot I put it down, for real. What was I? Why was I not given a quest last time? Like, it gave me a quest this time. Like, hey, kill this slime. The last time they're like, I'm actually, we're all good. Double cemetery. Or HP after a kill. That's some good additional healing. More spiders. Add some vampires. Put that down. Put another cemetery down. Who cares? We'll fight all the skeletons. I ain't scared of no bones. Okay, okay. We finally got an evasion bonus item. We also got just better there. But do we want that, or do we want, like... Do we want the attack speed, or do we want just to put on some magic damage? And we could... Defense 3 attack speed, that is nowhere near... This guy seems to just live off of... Make the number big. Make number big, good. That good times. Put another bit down there. That's what I'm thinking right now. I find it quite enjoyable that hey, don't evade, please. Stop fucking just repeat evading. Trash. Give us a clear an item or an oblivion, please. Give us one oblivion. Guess who's still forgetting that he has an active treasury that he could pop at any moment. You know what? Your boy's popping it. Boy's popping the treasury. I don't know why it changes priority when it spawns one of those. Like attack priority. Yeah, more evasion bonus, please. Now we're at 43% evasion. That's pretty stellar. I like how we're at 43% evasion, and yet things seem to still dodge more than we do. Overall, run seems to be okay. Could be better, could be worse. No? I accidentally crushed an enemy who was a quest. Dumb. Ooh. We're in a quality over quantity zone anyway. Additionally, I feel it's definitely time to get rid of the goblin camp at least. We're not in a good spot right now. They're evading as much as we are. Why do the enemies evade so much? Also, why am I not getting any meadows? I want meadows. Only meadows. Meadows only. Final destination. Oh, cool. Oh, that's rad. I don't know what killed me, but that was we'll take all. Build. Can we build anything? Are we yet? We're so close. I really want the supply depot. We're gonna do a fast run, just try to get as much early metal and wood as possible. That's the run right now, as it stands. Grove, Blood Grove. Big damage. Big damage attack speed. Highest HP we can get. Highest dodge we can get. Shadows on all sides. Put down the Vampire Mansion, no? Back up the vampires. We're in early enough hours that we can... We're not even going for, we don't really need the mountain that much on this run. We can just go for greed over resources. I do like groves, though. Groves are good. Every grove is the chance to get one of the resources. That's 4, 7, 9. So we don't want to do any more mountains if we can help it for a while. Yeah, not feeling any of those. None of those pique my interest. We're looking metal, we're looking wood. Those are the two things we care about in this life. There's a lot of wood that we just burned. Not really a ton of metal, but got to get there. A ton of metal zone. No reason to not double Dirk. Because just a good amount of evasion. And then I think after this loop, we're good to go back with the wood and stuff we've gotten. We could really up our critical damage, but we can't get our critical chance that high. Grove. Grove. We just gotta hope that we survive these guys. Oh, we're dead. That's ain't that just nice? So fucking close. But we will get there next time, and that will be who knows when. Maybe Saturday. Maybe I'll do a little bonus Saturday early. Oh. See you next time.